Hello and welcome back to Pinstripe Press, episode 33. Back with you after a couple of series wins with beating the Marlins and the Guardians. Yankees are still rolling, go 4-2 in these past two series. Things are still looking pretty good, but still some things, some concerns. But how are you feeling, Ryan?
Feeling great. You got to be feeling great. 12 and 4 at this, time of the recording. Still top of the league, I believe, best record. Obviously, a couple days ago, they were the first team to get to 10 wins, which, it's awesome to see. Even the graphics on the MLB Instagram, ESPN Instagram of Yankees first team. Like, I guess the Yankees accolades, it's good to see them being up top again, being kind of the best of the best. But obviously, like you just referred to, there's still some concerns we have, which it's going to happen, for any good team. There's going to be good moments and bad moments. But, again, keep saying it. I've definitely liked what I've seen, and, it's fun to watch them.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely one of the most enjoyable teams of the Yankees that I've seen in a long time. And we're still missing a lot of key pieces to make us even that much better. Before we get into these series recaps, I just want to mention a few roster moves, some things that have happened since our last episode. We've got Rougned Odor back on the Yankees. Decided he did not want to play overseas. Came back. Is now in the Yankees minor league system. Got John Birdie to the IL. And the corresponding move for that is Kevin Smith being called up. He's just another infielder. Saw him in one of the games used as a pinch runner. But yeah, he's just going to be one of those bench fill-in guys for the most part. We also have Ron Marinaccio back in the majors. He made one appearance, gave up a homer to Estevan Florial, but he is with us in the bullpen. And some news on DJ LeMahieu. He's making some steady progress and healing that foot. I think starting to field some grounders, so we could see him back in the lineup somewhat soon. Just kind of wonder where his place is in the lineup with Cabrera being still having a very hot start to the season. My thought is he's mostly going to be an everyday guy. Just probably we'll see mostly some days off for Cabrera, and also he'll be playing second on days off for Torres because Torres hasn't been great.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree. I definitely think there's going to be some changes. I think probably LeMahieu definitely, I'd imagine, gets the everyday nod, like you said, gets his job back. I don't know. I feel like it's tough. You can't. I guess it's an argument. Can players lose their roles due to injury? Obviously, LeMahieu has had his ups and downs, but we need him on defense, especially the circumstances in yesterday's game, and honestly, this whole season so far. There's still some iffy defensive plays here and there, but I don't know. I mean, I think with Cabrera playing good, I guess like probably Grisham, and I mean Birdie's injured now, but I feel like, I don't know, like, is now Grisham's role even more less? Like, I don't know, it just seems like it just keeps getting, like, everyone, like, once LeMahieu comes back, everyone's probably, their role is going to get smaller and smaller down the line. Like, at least, it's going to be smaller chances for them to perform.
Yeah, because I feel like even up to this point, we've seen a very consistent lineup, mostly the same guys playing every night. Here and there, we had Birdie playing mostly against the lefty pitching, but now that he's out, it's Oswaldo Cabrera every night at third base, and pretty much the same exact guys. um, every time, with the exception of maybe Grisham getting a game or two to give Stanton a day off and Judge a DH spot. But mainly it's been the same 9 guys out there. So, bringing back LeMahieu, he's obviously an everyday guy, someone we want to be towards the top of the lineup. And, later down the line with Dominguez back, that'll be another question of where do the roles for our bench guys go? Because even now we're not seeing Grisham get pretty much any playing time.
And I don't know. Seems like a coincidence, We finally have a set lineup and we're winning games. Not like last year, the year before, where Boone kept throwing together just mix and match lineups, and you got to a point where you didn't know who was actually gonna play. Like everyone was in different positions, everyone was in different slots in the lineup, and I never liked it. I didn't think the players liked it. You got to keep them in their position. You got to let them, know their role there, and that's the only way. Let them get used to that spot, and I think we're seeing that now. Obviously, the team's 12-4, and the offense is pretty consistent, at least for most of the guys right now. The productivity levels there, and I think probably with LeMahieu back, he's gonna get that role at third, and my guess is, what Grisham's doing now, that's gonna be more Cabrera. He's just gonna be that fill-in guy if Stanton or Judge, or maybe even Soto, maybe LeMahieu. They might not, at least when he slowly starts to get into it, he's probably not gonna be. Or he'll probably have more off days than he's had before. So I think Cabrera's probably just going to be, filled in wherever. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what happens with Grisham. I don't know. I guess that goes with the prospect situation too in the minors. I mean, obviously it's still early, but I think the Yankees think they got their team right now, and they like what they have. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with Cabrera, you feel like he's played well enough to have solidified his spot on the team, at least on the bench. So let's say you keep him on the bench. Grisham's a guy you're probably going to keep on the bench, obviously a catcher. And, maybe Birdie once he returns. And, I think Cabrera just going to play that like you said, that fill-in role. He's going to play your backup infield. He's going to be a backup corner outfielder as well in some scenarios. So I think it's better. It's a better problem to have that we're struggling to find spots for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think DJ slots in the lineup when he returns? Do you think we give him the leadoff? You think we get him, somewhere in that 5 to 7 range?
I feel like I know Volpe's playing good, but I feel like I still like him at leadoff. I'm trying to think, at least because there would be times where Boone would throw him towards the bottom of the order, at least the middle half, and I don't know, I feel like he wouldn't do as well. I feel like he's built his spot at the leadoff, even though obviously he hasn't been as productive as we liked. But I don't know, I just feel like I feel like he fits better at leadoff. But he's a contact bat, so I mean, I guess having him after, some of those guys like Soto and Judge wouldn't be bad either. But I mean, I think it's tough. You're gonna want whoever can get on base right now leading off, and obviously that was LeMahieu. He had obviously the high batting average and on base percentage. But if Volpe's, got the hot bat right now, and he gets on base, obviously the guys behind him are the ones who set up the RBIs and score in these guys. So I think I don't know. It's a tough decision. I mean, obviously, we'll have to see when he comes back. He's obviously not coming back this week or next week. I mean, do you think it's definitely soonish, right?
I'd say probably the next few weeks,
Yeah. So I mean,
possibly.
we'll be able to see. I mean, I guess it depends on how the rest of the team's playing. Hopefully, they keep it up, but I don't know. I'd like to see him at leadoff, but obviously, I think he'd still do fine at 5 through 7.
Yeah, I think I'd like to give him a shot at leadoff. But if Volpe keeps playing this well, I don't see us
Hmm.
moving him out of that spot. We obviously recently moved Volpe to the leadoff, and he has still been very solid at the plate. So I think if he keeps this up, you can't really move him out of that spot. He's been one of the best hitters in the American League, to be honest. I mean, maybe not a whole ton of pop, but he's got nearly like a 500 on base percentage. He's walking a ton more. He's shooting the ball the other way, and there's not a lot of times where he's getting out. So keeping him there would be what I would do, but who knows? Because DJ could be perfect for that role as well.
It's crazy. This is what we were talking about for Volpe. This is his role. Getting on base, not being that power slugger that he tried to be last year. And I mean, I think it's probably I don't know. I don't know. Did someone you think someone talked to him about changing up his approach because it's weird. It's exactly what we said we'd hope he would do is play his role, and he's doing it. Obviously, he's not having a lot of home. Obviously, he has 2 homers, and the season just started. But he's not. I don't know. He's not like hitting. He's hitting the ball on the ground more, which is what he should be doing.
Yeah,
Using
just
speed.
straight up line drives.
Yeah.
To be honest,
There's
uh,
not as many pop flies either.
yeah, uh, he definitely heard a lot of the criticism after last year because I know there were a ton of people that had it. He definitely heard it, wanted to make that change. He was he he definitely just worked towards it. He knew what he had to do. Um, he knew what people are expecting of him. Uh, and yeah, he's delivering on it right now. So yeah, can't be happier. I think it's time to get into some series recaps. Obviously, it's been 2 series since our last episode. We'll quickly go through these 6 games. First against the Marlins at home, and then the Guardians in Cleveland. So yeah, let's talk about Game 1 of against Miami.
Yeah. So obviously, where we left off, game one in versus Miami. Obviously, they're a very struggling team right now. They have not been good, and the Yanks continuing their hot streak to start the season off, and it showed it. They shut out the Marlins, specifically Nestor. 8 inning go at this. He goes the distance, which we were hoping, he kind of would push for this year. Obviously, he's had that narrative around him of, 5 to 6 inning guy. And especially with his, first couple of outings before this, they weren't great at all. So to see this, 8 innings, only 2 hits given up, no runs, that's shut out there. That was definitely rejuvenating to see, and it shined a little light. Like, okay, this is the Nestor we've known and we hope to come back. Obviously, Mike's been mentioning, we want nasty Nestor to come back. We want that fun, that energetic guy we know, you know, the guy we want to see. And obviously, his antics were back. And I don't know, it looked like he was more comfortable on the mound there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him start to be his fun self once again, with some awkward deliveries and weird antics, but that's exactly what we want to see. Um, an 8 inning outing from him, scoreless. That gives us, every chance to go ahead and win this game, which we did, powered by two 3-run homers by Soto and Anthony Volpe, both in the fourth inning. That was the bulk of our scoring. But, that being said, we had the guys on base in those positions for Soto and Volpe to hit those homers. And yeah, that was, really good outing for Nestor. Good 7-0 win. Yeah, good start to the series.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a good start there. And then, heading into game 2, we got Rodon on the bump and another good outing for him. He picks up his first win as, as a nail biter. And it's the same story, one game, we blow out this team, and then the next, it's like neck and neck. And obviously the Marlins aren't great. So for this game to be 3-2, it's like, how much inconsistent is this team going to keep doing? But, obviously Carlos Rodon on the bump gets that win, goes 6 innings too. He's showing improvement just as, Nestor has as well. These are the two guys who we keep talking about, want to see them go the distance. Obviously, both have dealt with injuries, and I think so far, they've definitely have shown an improvement. I think more Rodon, but obviously in this Marlins series, Nestor looked back to his all-star caliber pitching. And, the bullpen obviously picked up its slack again. They've been really good. Obviously, Loizaga going down. More people are going to have to pick up their end of the bargain. And then, on offense at least, Verdugo had that home run. And then, I don't know. It's still, we got 7 hits. It's interesting though. We're seeing more scattered, like different people are contributing. Towards the start, it was only like Soto, Volpe, and Cabrera, where now Rizzo's getting hits. Judge is starting to get his bat going again.
Stanton as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
So,
been big, having him be back. I think he's batting around 250 now, which, might not sound the greatest, but for him and what he's been the past couple of seasons, 250 right now, absolutely take that. He's hitting the ball hard, doing what we need him to do. And yeah, in this game, kind of, most people contributing in this game, up and down the lineup, pretty much everyone got their hits, and they did enough to get the win 3-2. There were 2 runs scored against Rodon, but they were both unearned. So, yeah, definitely a really good outing for Rodon. Come away with that one in to take the series. Then we get to game 3 with Stroman on the mound, and things don't go our way in this one.
No. Yeah, Stroh, gives up those 4 runs. He does have 7 strikeouts. And yeah, the offense.
Most of it was that 3-run homer by Jake Berger, but to be honest, most of the night he didn't have his best stuff. He walked 4 guys, could only go 5 innings. So yeah, I think kind of just put us in a hole there in his 3rd start of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rough 3rd inning for him. And yeah, like you said, kind of puts you in a hole down 4-0. Stanton, has that homer. He continues to stay productive, but yeah, just not a great game for them. But we do pull away with that series. Take that series 2-1 versus the Marlins. You would like a sweep, but you won't complain based on how the season has gone. That being the 3rd loss, you're definitely not mad about. And then obviously, we head into the Guardian series, which Cleveland's been. I think it was I think they were they technically the second best team in the AL at that time.
I
I think
believe
they were.
they were like 9-2 or 9-3, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When we started this series against them. So yeah, they're coming into it hot bats. Their pitching, especially their bullpen, has been outstanding. And then we come in and have the doubleheader against them, obviously because of the rain out, and we get a 3-2 win in game one. That was Clark Schmidt on the mound. He had 2 runs against him, one of those being earned, and he went 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks. But still, once again, Schmidt not going deep into these games. It just seems like something turns off when he gets to like that 6th inning, like that 3rd time through the order. It's definitely an issue, but I think it's it's promising that he got into the 6th inning with his pitch count being around 80. And yeah, obviously worked himself into some trouble in that game. And since it was a close game, you didn't really want to keep him in there to give the Guardians a chance to take the lead. So, yeah, I think overall a good outing from Schmidt. But yeah, still some concerns.
Yeah, definitely 5 walks is not what you want. I don't know. I mean, the offense, like, they got 10 hits, but obviously 3 runs. Not the ratio you really want. Just tells us that, we're still not capitalizing on the on base, and, just not getting those RBIs.
Yeah. But yeah, 10 hits. It was I think a good offensive day, to be honest. We worked a lot of walks, got some guys on base. I think just not really capitalizing with runners in scoring position has been somewhat of a weakness. But what really powered us to this win here was Cabrera's 2-run homer in the 6th. And yeah, we walk away with the win here, with the bullpen once again being very solid.
And then obviously, doubleheader. So we're playing them right again. And Cody Poteet gets the ball here. He got called up. I think, yeah, obviously when he saw that, he kind of knew this was gonna be, I don't know, one of those games, not really a bullpen game, but kind of like a staff game. I mean, he could have, we could have went with Weaver here too, but
yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you got that extra roster spot because of the doubleheader. You bring up a starter that was competing for the 5th starting role at the beginning of the year, and it saves the bullpen because in a back-to-back in a doubleheader, you got your bullpen needing to be used a lot. So we're able to save Weaver for the bullpen in game. He might have came out I don't think he even pitched that day, to be honest. But so we saved his arm. Had Poteet go 6 innings, and then get sent right back down to AAA. But still, that's pretty much all you could ask for from him. Coming up here on short notice and getting the job done to give us a sweep on the day.
Do they tell him, like, you'll be up here just for this game and then you're getting sent down? I wonder how that works.
I assume so. Just because, they only have that extra roster spot for that one day. So he's the most likely guy to be sent back down.
Yeah. I mean, good to see that, we got some of those pitching prospects in AAA that are definitely capable, and, that's a great performance, get called up last minute and to give close to almost 6 shutout innings was definitely good. And the Yankees win 8-2. Again, it's they're winning. It's either close games, low scoring, or it's like they're high game blowouts almost. So there's still that level of inconsistent play, but the bats are still going to be there. 9 hits. It's back-to-back games with a high number of hits. I think ultimately just a good game. And then Soto has that 3-run homer, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So yeah, just a great, pretty good offensive day, to be honest. All around, pretty much everyone getting on base. Volpe having another good day. Um, Rizzo grabbing a couple hits. Um, yeah, and then that big blast from Soto. Yeah, that really what blew the game open. And by the time we had Poteet out, the game was 8-1. So not a lot of pressure on the bullpen. Dennis Santana going 2 scoreless innings, and then Ron Marinaccio pitched the ninth, gives up 1 run. Um, so yeah, good win there. Secures us another series win. I believe that's like five series to start the season with wins. Uh, yeah, you had Astros, Blue Jays, Guardians, Marlins. There's one more in there, the Diamondbacks.
yeah.
So 5 series wins to start off the season. Another good game. At this point, we're 12-3, so still best record in the MLB, and it was definitely good feeling after this game.
Yeah, and then going in this third game, it's not so of a good feeling. Towards the end of the game, the Yankees had this game. I mean, they had it. And they dropped this one in extras, 8-7. Um, and I don't know. It's obviously it's one loss, but it's like I don't know. I think you're like just used to seeing them win, and I don't know. Just something like this is like I don't know. Just definitely a disappointing loss. They had 12 hits. Scoring 7 runs. Um, I don't know. Just like to be up in extras, and it's still they have guys on base. Like I'm pretty sure wasn't in the 10th they had bases loaded, no outs.
Yeah,
They like intentionally walked Judge. So or Stan gets on base. Um, then bases
and then
loaded.
Rizzo delivers 2 RBIs, I believe it was. Um, so yeah, at that point when it's 7-5, you feel like we got this game on locks, and even after the Rizzo base hit, we got 2 guys on and there's no outs. So you still want more runs in that inning. I'm pretty sure that was the inning where I think it was Verdugo grounds into that double play, that weird one at home. They get the out at home and then throw to first to get Verdugo. So you want more runs in that inning, and then some costly mistakes throughout the game, losing it for us in extras. So yeah, I think just overall a disappointing game. I mean, at this point, not a must-win game, but not the type of game you want to see us lose. Uh, start out with Nestor, not a great outing after his 8-inning outing. Goes only four earned runs, and then you've got the bullpen needing to get at least 5 innings, and now since we're going to extras, you need them to get more innings after a doubleheader. Um, and with a three nothing lead in the 3rd inning off that Judge home run, you really hope that we can keep this win. But giving up 8 runs is never easy.
No, definitely not. I mean, I get like because I don't know. Like on paper, Cleveland's good, but I don't know. They're definitely we're definitely better than them. Like should be beating them, and And it's like a Florial revenge game. This was.
Yeah,
I mean, he had 2 homers obviously in the series. Um, I don't know, just it was just a bad loss.
yeah. Really, I think just costly errors on the defensive side. Um, that's something that we'll get more into, but the infield defense has not been good whatsoever. And on this one, Gleyber Torres fumbling the ball to allow Josh Naylor to score from third base on a ground ball that could have helped us get to this win, but obviously we don't come away with this one. Haven't been able to sweep a series since the first series against the Astros, but still a series win nonetheless. Um, but still, yeah, not what we want to see.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, with that being said, this leads us to our good, bad, and ugly section. I think for today, we'll kind of do it for the whole week. Kind of combine both series, the Marlins and the Cleveland series. Obviously, ugly, you know, just like what Mike referred to. That infield defense. Mm, it's something that's not helped the case at all, and I think it's why we kind of are. I don't, obviously we want DJ to come back, but that's one of the big aspects of his game is his defense. Obviously, he's a Gold Glover, and he's a great asset over there at third. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously, defense wins you games. You can't be, especially in these close games. Your defense has got to be on top of it at all times, and you know, obviously, it's just not been good. At least on the infield. The outfield's been great, but the infield's got to clean it up.
Yeah, going around the infield, I think you could point out things from our four starters in the infield that need to be improved. I feel like Rizzo's defense has been actually just like pretty bad, to be honest. Made 2 errors in the game yesterday, coming in the first and the second inning, and his fielding has been a lot worse. His play awareness has been worse. Moving over to Torres, he obviously made that play or didn't make that play in extra innings. Also, somewhere in this series, threw a ball away, which could have been a double play. Um, Volpe, I think he's been solid, but still, he's thrown a ball away, made an error or two here and there. And then even Cabrera, not the greatest throws from third base. Um, but yeah, I think your main issues here are Torres and Rizzo making some costly errors. I think it'll definitely be beneficial to have DJ back.
Yeah, and I mean we've known that with Glaber. There's a reason he got moved from short to second. He's got to pick it up. I mean, it's just, and I mean, it's not even like right now he's hitting well at all either. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's really playing bad, and obviously it's early. I'm not gonna mention it, but I will. I wouldn't be too opposed of possible trade scenario. Like especially with DJ coming back. I mean, I think you could put together a decent package. We got prospects too. So I mean, I'm not gonna just put that out there, but I will. That's definitely an avenue the team could go down if he doesn't play well, because there are other options that could help us win.
And not to mention, this is a contract year for Gleyber Torres as well. So we're either gonna have to pay him after the end of this year, or offload him before the trade deadline. So I think this is make it or break it. We got to make a decision what we're going to do long term with Torres if he's going to be around. So really not making a great case for himself thus far.
And then moves into our bad. Also, we just mentioned it. Strowman, not a great outing for him. Um, versus the Marlins, a team that's not been good at all on offense, at least. You know, that was, I think, their second win of the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like, you'd hope he would be better. You know, and he can't. He didn't go the distance, which I don't know. Obviously, we knew that's the type of pitcher he is. He's not a strikeout guy, but yeah, I mean, obviously put the team in the hole. Going down 4 runs, it's hard to ask a team, especially that early. It's hard to ask a team, or I mean, it would. I mean, the third inning, it's hard to ask a team to, just like I don't know, come back from that. So he put us in a hole, and yeah, just not a good outing versus a bad team too. Just not good.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then the good, which I don't know, how you I guess take his performance this season and what you expected from last season, but Anthony Volpe has been outside of Soto like the best player on the team. Like we said, I think he is still leading the AL in batting average. He's been great. He was great the Cleveland series and the Marlins series. Obviously Cleveland, back to back games with multiple hits. He's scoring guys, and again, his defense could be better, but at least on the offense, he's picking up that slack there. And
Yeah.
he's been good.
Yeah. I mean, definitely didn't expect this big of a jump for him. So it's something unexpected, but it's great that we're seeing it happen. And we now know what kind of player he can be. He's definitely the future shortstop of this organization. So seeing what he's doing now is great. Um, and I think, especially for these past couple of series, since his move um, to the leadoff spot, he's still been great. Obviously, that could have been an issue where the pressure comes back and builds up on him, moving him into a more prime role rather than batting like sixth or seventh most nights. He's batting leadoff every night, and he's still out there and doing it, getting on base, walking, hitting the ball all over the place. So he's definitely been a major bright spot, and definitely gets our good for this week.
Mm-hmm. It's been good to see. Now, yeah, obviously, a little bit more of the good here. Let's, move into our new section of, you know, our moments rankings throughout this week. So I got 4 for you this week. I got this one's an inning that Soto and Volpe 3-run, homers in the same inning there. And then Nestor's 8 scoreless outing there. Also, his fake pitch, which we just saw, a new antic, which, yeah, definitely had people talking about. And definitely you don't see that and you haven't seen that before. And then Cody Poteet, his 6 underrated innings, and definitely an appreciated outing. So definitely, those 4 moments there.
It's a tough one for sure. Definitely a lot of great moments here. I think as great as it was, and how kind of funny it was, I got to put Poteet in the 4. Um, it's just kind of one of those outings, where a pitcher pitches that someone that you're not used to in the team, and they go out there, get one shot, and have a great performance. It was great. It was really fun to watch, but ultimately he's not a mainstay on the team. So yeah, I got to put it at 4. 3, I think I'm going to go the Nestor fake pitch. It was really fun and it was great. But then again, taking in the bigger picture, we lost that game. He didn't have a good outing. But it is great to see him come back to his silly self. Next up in the two, um, I'll go Nestor's 8 inning outing. I think overall as a moment, not as strong as number one, in my opinion, but that was really where we saw him be himself and show that he can still be that, he can still be ace caliber on our team. So that leaves the number one for Soto and Volpe's 3-run homers in the same inning. Obviously, those are the two guys that have been doing it for us all season, our best two hitters thus far, and they get it done in the same inning. You know how big it is when you see a 3-run homer. So seeing two of them in the same inning was special. So that gets my number one.
I like it. Again, it's just, it's different, unique moments that, this team is providing. I think you really do see something new every game that we haven't been seeing. And again, it's fun to watch. I think that's the biggest thing here when we're talking about it. It's a lot of great moments so far. And, we hope they can keep it up. And, I'm glad, the season's, it's barely gotten started. It's still spring, it's just start of the middle of April. So there's a lot of season left, and a lot of topics to talk about. There's going to be a lot of speculations, different scenarios that are going to happen. So definitely excited to, see what unfolds here.
So coming up, we've got, I believe it's the Toronto Blue Jays series starting tonight. Gonna have Luis Gil, Carlos Rodon, and Marcus Stroman pitching in the Rogers Center, and they'll be facing Chris Bassett, Yusei Kikuchi, and Kevin Gausman. So yeah, I think that's the next series. After that, we got a homestand. But yeah, good things to come.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good series coming up. And then to end, the news did come out that John Sterling is officially going to retire. Obviously, the voice of the Yankees. He's been doing it for, I think I saw, 35 years. A lot of memories from him. His home run calls are obviously iconic. Definitely gonna be sad to see him leave. Obviously, he'll finish out this season, but just a lot of great moments he's provided for Yankees fans. A lot of famous clips of the Yankees highlights are from him. So definitely want to give a shout out there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sad moment. Grew up listening to him on car rides, listening to the Yankees. Yeah, and a lot of great special moments from him. Definitely will miss him. So yeah.
Thank you, John. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today. We'll try to get back to you after this Blue Jay series. Hopefully, another good series. Go Yanks.
Yeah. Peace.